Finally, after 3 years delay due to the COVID pandemic, we're back in Africa, starting off in the Madikwe region of South Africa. It's day one, and Jerry will be our driver and guide for the next 3 days. It doesn't take long until we come across this majestic sleeping lion, seemingly oblivious to our presence. At this large watering hole, elephants drink, play and bathe in the muddy pools. As the elephants leave, their place is taken by thirsty zebra and an ungainly giraffe trying to get the last remnants of water from the mud banks. The next morning, we spot our first water buffalo guarding their territory near our camp. If these young kudu seem skittish, it's due to the 2 lions sitting around the corner. No need to worry though, as they appear to have eaten well and just want to sleep for the day. The elephants we saw earlier are always on the move, and are now up grazing up in the hills. It's quite amazing how much ground these large animals cover during the day. You may not see him at first, but beneath the shade of this tree and rocks lies a well-camouflaged lone cheetah. Back out in the afternoon, we ford the river beside our lodge and wait for a lone waterbuck to cross the road in front of us. As the animals head to the watering hole, Jerry shows us a spider nest and tries to scare the arachnophobes in our group. In the late afternoon, we encounter a huge herd of elephants of all ages and sizes at another watering hole. A solo jackal is right to be wary, surrounded by so many large animals. Nearby baboons get intimate in more ways than one, and as the sun sets, we come across another jackal, and then it's time to stop for evening drinks and snacks. As we head back home, we see that the baboons have made good use of the man-made electricity pylon as a great place to stay safe overnight from their predators. The next morning, the first animal we encounter is this spotted jackal skulking in the barren woodland. In this part of the park, the orange sand has made the local warthog and rhinos look like they've been to a spray tan salon. As we are viewing this shy eland, Jerry hears an interesting noise and drives over to investigate. The noise he heard was the grunting of a male rhino, and we're extremely privileged to be able to see the rhinos mating in the wild. In the late afternoon, we descend from the plateau and drive towards some caves, looking out for some rare young animals. They're difficult to spot at first, but then we see the first of 4 brown hyena puppies. These hyena are much rarer than the common spotted hyena, and they're hidden away in these caves to keep them safe while they're so young. After a great day's drive, we head back to the camp, where we're eating in the boma, where we dine on a traditional braai of barbecued meats and salads. Our last morning in Madikwe, and as we leave the camp there are reports of wild dogs nearby. We missed them the previous day, so we're really keen to find them today. As we approach them in the jeep, they scatter into the nearby bush. But Jerry gets out of the car and tracks them down to the river. He's done his job well, as a few minutes later the pack reappear at the roadside. I count at least 7 juveniles and an adult, and they all look in good health. Great news for this nomadic species whose numbers are dwindling in the wild. This giraffe obviously had an encounter with a lion in the past, judging by the scars on his back, but he's lived to tell the tale. It seems like these wildebeest are being chased, but they're just playing and exercising, staying in trim for when the real hunt is on. It's time to say farewell to Madikwe and hello to Marakele with its beautiful mountainous backdrop. We've only been here a few minutes and we've already found this group of 4 cheetahs, a mother and 3 sons. The mother appears to have a dislocated knee, but still seems well fed, so the local rangers will keep an eye on her over the coming weeks. A few hundred metres down the road and there are more big cats, this time 2 lions resting under a tree. As the sun sets, they start to move, maybe getting ready for some nighttime hunting. As we cross the river during the afternoon game drive, we spot a lone elephant in the tall grass nearby. Panning around the vehicle, we realise that there is a whole herd here, so we stay parked in the riverbed and let the elephant stroll around us, hoping that they're all in a good mood. Heading back into the setting sun, our path is blocked by a group of rhinos, and just like the elephants before, we park up and hope the rhinos are in a calm frame of mind. next morning we immediately spot lion tracks, and within a few minutes find this pride of 4 lions walking out in the open. We're doing our best to keep our eyes on them as they move in and out of the scrubland, and we're doing pretty well predicting their movement. But eventually the lions disappear, and we're left with the consolation of seeing a pair of bat-eared foxes, normally nocturnal animals. It's time for a more sedate form of transport now, a leisurely boat ride amongst bird life and nearby hippos. In the afternoon, we're back in the Jeep, and it doesn't take long to reconnect with our cheetahs from the previous day. Their sleeping and heavy breathing imply they've eaten recently and are using their energy to digest their food, which is a good sign. Even when there are no animals around, the scenery at Marakele is stunning, and for our last sundowners we pick a spectacular spot by the lakeside with the mountains in the background and a gorgeous sunset to mark our last evening here. The late evening light in southern Africa is truly incredible. Heading back after sunset, we even get one last glimpse of the lion from this morning, a great end to the day. Our last morning in South Africa and a final chance to soak up the atmosphere of this giant wilderness with nature at its finest. Farewell Africa, until we meet again soon.